In today's matchup, we have Gipsy Avenger versus Saber Athena. And both of these Jaegers are extremely advanced, and in my opinion, both of them are at the top 2 most advanced Jaegers yet in the Pacific Rim universe. Gipsy Avenger, as quoted by John Boyega in the Hall of Heroes featurette, is called the flagship leader, and as far as Jaegers go, Gipsy is the best. Those are 2 quotes that describe Gipsy Avenger and even farther explain how advanced and crazy, lethal, and agile Gipsy Avenger is. And for Saber Athena, as quoted by John Boyega, Saber Athena is the most elegant Jaeger ever created, and is the sleekest and most advanced Jaeger in the fleet. The threats Gipsy Avenger will be bringing into battle, other than sprint speed and agility, Gipsy has the gravity sling, which has obviously been used to bring down buildings at will, and is able to throw off the gravity of even something it points the gravity sling directly at, like he does to Raijin in this scene right here. And Gipsy also has the plasma cannon, which was able to fight off the Mega Kaiju, was able to blow back Obsidian Fury, and Gipsy also has a 4-arm chainsword and is great at up-close combat. And Saber Athena goes into battle with accelerator limbs, hyper-acrobatic combat, which is seen being used fighting off against the Mega Kaiju. Also, Saber Athena goes into battle with the twin swords, which can also be formed to become the broadsword, which ends up taking out a secondary brain of the Mega Kaiju. One major strength that I feel Gipsy Avenger definitely has going into this battle is durability, because Gipsy was able to take multiple hits from Obsidian, some hits right to the face, caught off guard, 2 punches, a 4-arm spikes right to the face, chest cannon back into a building, and then shots by the plasma chainswords from Obsidian Fury, and that was just in the first fight. The second fight with Obsidian is able to take the chest cannon for a good amount of time, eventually has to get out of there, and then more hits from the plasma chainswords again. And Gipsy has to take so much abuse in this fight, and even fights towards the end of the movie against the Mega Kaiju, takes multiple hits, gets stabbed through the head, and is still able to get up again. And the durability of Gipsy Avenger cannot be ignored and will be a major strength in this fight. Saber Athena also has a lot of experience and feats in Pacific Rim Uprising that cannot be ignored, like slicing up Haikuja, then kicking him back into a building, like handling a Cat 4 like it was just nothing. Saber Athena took hits from the plasma spikes from Strike Thorn from distance and was able to recover and hold off Haikuja in a matter of seconds, which shows extreme speed and strength. Saber Athena was also able to step off of a building and kick Strike Thorn, which shows extreme agility, and this is a major strength for... Because of this move that Saber Athena is able to pull off, that will be very important in a fight, and that is much quicker and much better agility than Gipsy Avenger has shown in Pacific Rim Uprising, so that would definitely give Saber Athena the agility edge for sure. And as far as Gipsy Avenger's greatest feats, Gipsy Avenger was able to fight Obsidian Fury multiple times, was able to really fight him off in the first fight after getting caught off guard, and then was able to fight him very well in the second fight in the Arctic, and was able to punch right through his chest and rip out his core, which is a very impressive scene and very impressive strength in that fight for sure. It shows great agility, but I feel the best fight after fighting off Raijin, the Mega Kaiju is formed, and while every other Jaeger isn't really able to fight the Mega Kaiju as well, Gipsy Avenger comes in and is able to fight multiple times with the Mega Kaiju, take hits and keep going, get stabbed through the head eventually, like I said earlier, and is still able to stand up. Even though a pilot is lost, Gipsy Avenger, the actual Jaeger, still stays intact and is actually able to eventually kill the Mega Kaiju in an unorthodox way, but Gipsy Avenger, the Jaeger, does end up killing the Mega Kaiju in the end. If these two Jaegers were both lined up and ready to fight, perfectly even playing field, and they were just ready to go at each other, I really do think that this would be an extremely good fight. They're both so agile, even though I think Saber Athena actually has the edge with agility. But Gipsy Avenger is so tough. Saber Athena has done so many impressive moves just in the little screen time we've actually seen her in the movies. Gipsy Avenger has a lot of weaponry with the plasma cannon, the gravity sling, and the 4-arm chainsword. And Saber Athena goes into battle with sprint speed and the twin swords, which forms to the broadsword and was seen doing a lot of damage. So there is a lot of weapons on both sides. I do feel I'd have to give the weapons an edge to the weapons of Gipsy Avenger just because they're better and he has more. But agility I have to give to Saber Athena because of the certain moves Saber was able to pull off, like jumping off the building and kicking Strike Thorn, jumping up to the top of the Mega Kaiju and taking out a secondary brain. Clearly the agility is on Saber's side, even though Gipsy has shown a lot of good agility, not nearly to the strength of Saber Athena. I'd have to give durability for sure to Gipsy Avenger, and feats I would have to give the Gipsy Avenger, mainly because of how much Gipsy was able to do, and the more screen time helped, but with how much Gipsy was able to do against the Mega Kaiju, more importantly, definitely proves that Gipsy's more tough. Where this fight kind of gets confusing and kind of unfair, at least for Saber Athena, is at the pilots, because Gipsy Avenger, the pilots are Jake and Nate, two experienced adult pilots, but for Saber Athena, even though Saber Athena is able to do a lot in the movie that's very impressive, they are just kids, and they're unexperienced, and that definitely gives Saber Athena a disadvantage. I will say both ways how I think this fight would go down if Saber Athena actually had adult experienced pilots and with the kid pilots, because I do think that makes a big difference and would actually have a different outcome in this fight. But after going over all the different weapons, the different advantages, disadvantages, the feats, accomplishments, I really do have to say that because of Gipsy Avenger's durability and accomplishments against the Mega Kaiju and how Gipsy was able to fight Obsidian, a very advanced Jaeger hybrid, I would have to give Gipsy Avenger the win in this fight currently right now. Even though I think Saber is more agile, I just don't know how actually lethal those twin swords would be. And one thing that actually puts me more on Gipsy's side in this battle is because of the unexperienced pilots. And I really do think if Saber Athena had the experienced adult pilots, I actually would maybe give the edge to Saber Athena in this fight, because like it's quoted by John Boyega, Saber is the sleekest and most advanced Jaeger in the fleet, even though it does contradict what was said about Gipsy, saying as far as Jaegers go, Gipsy is the best. Even though best is an opinion, it's not a fact. But I would have to give Gipsy Avenger the win in this fight. Really, the only edge that puts it over is the experience. That's really what gives it the edge. Saber Athena is extremely fast and agile, and is very deadly, but the experience factor really leans me more towards Gipsy Avenger winning this fight. But as always, let me know down below who you think will win in this fight, and if you think this fight was fair, or if you think the pilot thing is really unfair and I should have had this fight as if it was adult pilots, and let me know which matchups I should do next. Make sure you let me know down below, and thanks for watching.